What's happening, traders? All right, so today we are back with the E-mini S&P. It is Tuesday, April 21st, and we are currently at 2:46 p.m. European time. And let's see what kind of abundance the markets will provide us today. Now, I do notice a bit more volatility than usual, even though it is still the London session. But this is also the period where the London session transitions to New York session, as the New York pre-open is also currently going on, right? So yeah, it's not unusual to see a little bit more volatility. Right, so we do see more blue prints than red prints, also bigger numbers, right? So currently that tells me that around this year area, right? Let's say this year volume profile, the buyers were definitely the dominant ones controlling, and eventually they attacked. The price went higher, they lifted the offer, and now let's see if, because as soon as they reach this pressure point, the dynamics shifted a little bit. So let me try to go with a short position. Oh, I do see a little bit of absorption, but there was no backticking, so immediate reaction from the sellers. Boom, and that's me getting out, right? And even though that the price continued lower, as soon as that configuration was executed successfully, I just get out, right? I don't need the full move. Just, the reaction. And as soon as price comes to a halt, right, then I'm out. Because if it can go from here, cross this valley here very quickly to come into this year price level, it may do the same, right, reversed to the upside once it gets here. And I do believe I'm going to try to catch a buy position. Okay, let's see. This will act as my protection point. Now I do have to go with a little bit more risk, obviously, since there is a little bit more volatility going on currently. So it's not unusual while trading such a a volatile market, especially if the order book is thin, right? In comparison with, let's say, a thicker order book like the US Treasury bonds. Right, so all right, another lucrative trade. So basically, as soon as the sellers pushed through this here low volume node or pressure point, right, very easily, and the price came here, they basically kept attacking, and buyers were able to defend themselves, but there was no backticking. That's why I took a short position, and basically, targeting again a few ticks, because according to auction market theory, if the price comes back into a value area, especially around the POC, right, it may obviously bounce back. I will not go into much details, I will save that for another, more detailed or even a case study video if you guys would like that. So let's currently focus on what is happening here and try to catch a couple of positions whenever possible. Right. Okay. Now, I can see that the buyers were becoming more and more dominant there, right? But if there is not a real follow through, then I will just exit my position before the price rotates against me. Now I do see a little bit more seller stepping in here, so let me try to catch a short position here. And let me just try to target this here. Well, that is not what I wanted to see, but I have just re-entered, right? Perhaps not the wisest thing, but let's see. Okay. So the buyers are showing effort without any follow through. They are not getting rewarded so far for their efforts. And usually if that happens, they may puke out, which should drive the price again to around my entry point. Yeah, I noticed some absorption, which gave me the confidence to hold on to my position, right? We do see a little bit more aggressiveness from the sellers, right? And now, yeah, the buyers are starting to pull out, but other buyers are also trying to lift the offer. So there's a lot of action going on currently. Okay, so the sellers currently are the aggressors, but now look, they basically oh, god damn, I just yeah. Instead of clicking on buy, I clicked on short, guys. That was not what I wanted to do. Now, basically, I flipped my position. Before that, though, I made a small mistake. Added more size to my losing position instead of getting out. But luckily, I corrected that mistake. Yeah, it did cost me some profits, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Right, so we do see that the sellers definitely show little effort to attack the current bid levels. And that's why buyers are starting to line up here. And that is also why sellers did not make an attempt to attack this level here, right? And by the way, let me try to get out here. Yes, there you go. All right, so yes, I made a small boo-boo, but I made up for it, luckily. And now let's see what will happen at this point. Because here on the micro, I see that price basically skipped the level, right? And then sellers took over. Yep, took over. Price pushed down. Okay. Buyers attempted to attack with aggressive orders here, but did not get rewarded. So if they now pull out their orders in the bid levels deliberately, and and then price ticks down a couple of ticks, it's probably those buyers who did attack are puking out, exiting their positions, and then pull their limit orders here. But as soon as we see some absorption going on, they may, like this year, right? You see that 40 contracts every time, 12 contracts, 41, 18. So let's see if the buyers are indeed quietly and passively controlling the downward momentum. Yeah, I saw a opportunity to take a quick scalp. Okay, that is not what you want to see, right? That the price just, triggers you while, smashing through it. And now I'm going to try to take a sell position, because the buyers are still getting absorbed. My early buy position here was a little bit aggressive, I'll admit that, but sometimes you have to be, right? Because like the first couple of trades, you want to enter with a limit order, and price comes and basically does not trigger your position, and you miss out. So because the ES is, as we know, pretty volatile, or at least it can be from time to time, sometimes you have to take market orders. I do see a little bit of stalling going on, so I will adjust my take profit manually. The buyers are still engaged, so that gives me the confidence to hold on to my position a little bit longer. But now they are getting absorbed, so I should be cautious, even though it's one tick. Okay, now I see a little bit of follow through, and there you go. Right, so luckily they were able to attack, and now we do see absorption going on from the sell side. Back ticking, smaller, less aggressive attack from the buy side. I will just target this here pressure point, because it doesn't matter if price crosses it or not. If the buyers step in here, either way, I will just get filled on my take profit, which is my intention, right? Because as we know by now, I don't trade in a predictive way. It's just pure reaction, right? Let's see if this here price level will hold. No, obviously it did not. Let me try to exit my position and try to catch a flip position. Yep, there you go. Now let me exit, because I already start to see that there is a little bit less pace follow through. Plus, again, as I say many times, this is exactly the area after a sudden rapid move to the upside to emotionally trigger reactive traders who are scared of missing out. They want to join the ride before it breaks out, and then they basically provide liquidity to the buyer, like myself, who bought lower, and that is the exact area which is ideal for us to exit our position. Now, the second time, let's see, it may tick through a couple of ticks, and again, it doesn't matter if it goes higher at the first attempt, the second attempt. As soon as it ticks a little bit higher to trap perhaps buyers here, right? I'm in profit. Now this would then act as my protection point currently, obviously, right? So let me see. I'm getting out. One tick loss there, which is fine, because there is still some unfinished auction here. And if the price first rotates lower here, and I rather get out with one tick and try to re-enter at a better price, like in this case example, right? So now I can target this here price level for ticks. The buyers are still the dominant participants, which is exactly what we would like to see. And looking at it diagonally, they are becoming more aggressive as well in comparison with the sellers. And there you go, another profitable trade or a lucrative position, right? And you see, guys, as soon as price comes here to that edge of the volume profile, it may tick through 1-2 ticks, right? To engage more buyers, but after no real follow-through, after absorption, those buyers may puke out, and then the seller here may start to attack, gradually after accumulating positions here. And if that's the case, it can rotate lower very fast. And I do believe that that is exactly what is going on here. So you see, we do see a huge number printing here with no real follow through. The sellers are, reloading. Other buyers are getting out, either, through limit orders or perhaps even market orders. So if there's a big or a large number printed here, at around these levels, it's probably, buyers who got triggered here and click are clicking market orders, if this is, for example, the current ask, right? I do see a little bit difficulty from the sellers. So 84, 10, 3. Okay, now they are trying to push below the point of control. Yep, I'm trying to catch a continuation trade, an as-she-go trade, because again, as soon as price came here earlier, it failed to rotate, continue higher. Instead, it rotated back, right? Sellers took over control, and now basically they are clearing the bid levels, hitting them and clearing them. Now I do see a little bit of, difficulty happening here. I was thinking of perhaps targeting here, but I won't sacrifice my profits made already for 2 additional ticks. I will just get out with whatever I have at that time. 3, 2, 5 ticks, doesn't matter. Okay, so basically the price is again back at where it all started, right? Where we did notice that there were passive buyers, which eventually were able to push the price all the way back up. Now, however, the sellers are clipping very easily through that price level. And I just flipped my position because I first thought that they may push through, but as soon as I notice this here, right, absorption, aggressive attack, I basically flipped my position without ever getting out of the market. And let's see, I do see some absorption here and aggressive attack, but this also made those sellers who, just like me, noticed that they may be on the wrong side and taking market orders to limit their risk. Now, what I would like to see is a little bit more follow through from the buyers, which is currently happening. And let's see if they can push it a little bit higher. Okay. Yes, just there you go, right? So now, after again absorbing everything, they went into initiative mode, right? And basically, yeah, were able to push it with little to no effort through those levels. And again, not necessarily because the buyers were the aggressors, as we can see here, but purely after sellers noticing that they are getting duped, they also pull out, exit their position, and those stop orders of the sellers become market buy orders. And that's why if they pull out and those market orders are getting filled, right, latent liquidity, we cannot see them in the order book, then obviously that will drive the price higher. So let's see. Okay, there are definitely some buyers present here. Just a quick 2 ticks. Well, in this case, 3, if it plays out. Let me just be prepared, just in case. Yeah, let me just get out, exit my position, like that. And looking at the time, we are exactly 22 minutes into the session, and I am well over $2,000 in profit. So I say that's a job well done. So let me call this a session and end it. And probably I will have a look later. If I do see good price action, I can decide to continue my session. And if not, well, I will take comfort in the profits that I made today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you again in the next video. Until then, stay blessed.